President Putin became Prime Minister Putin in 2008, but he still seems to be the man in charge of Russia. His protege, Dmitry Medvedev, officially took the reins in May, but any doubts about who really calls the shots were quickly dismissed when the first Russian tanks rolled into Georgia.
That bore the hallmarks of his kind of ruling style, which is much more aggressive and nationalistic than some people think Medvedev is.
Provoked or not, Russia's invasion of the former Soviet satellite triggered a flood of disquieting Cold War flashbacks and put the U.S. and its NATO allies on a new collision course with Moscow. Putin is number 9 on Newsweek's list, but there are good reasons why he's not higher in the rankings.
The reason he's not, say, in the top 5 of our list is because Russia has some pretty serious structural weaknesses. Their economy is incredibly dependent on oil, and you can see how poorly it's doing now because of the drop in oil prices. They've got demographic issues. It's an aging population. It's actually losing population numbers. He's still incredibly influential, but is based on a sort of weak foundation. The key thing with Russia in 2009 is how they deal with the new Obama administration. This is a chance for them to actually set things on a more even path, more cooperative path. It will be tempting for him to kind of beat the nationalist drum, which could cause some tensions with America and with the rest of Europe.
I think the thing we're going to remember about Nicolas Sarkozy in 2008 is just how much energy this guy had. He is all over the place all the time.
The tireless French president ranks number 3 on this year's list. In early 2008, he was in the headlines as much for his policies as for his love life. Less than 4 months after a messy split with his second wife, Sarkozy married supermodel Carla Bruni in a secret ceremony at the Élysée.
One of the world's most famous and most beautiful fashion models, and who now in her early 40s has become a pop singer. Among her many songs is one about her many lovers. Sarkozy doesn't seem to mind that at all, and neither does the French public anymore. In fact, it's amazing. It often seems these days, after the first few months of his presidency in which he could do nothing right, as if the French people have decided he can do nothing wrong. For 6 months of 2008, he was the president not only of France, but of the European Union under their revolving presidency. And every day he seemed to be doing something dramatic, because these are dramatic times, and he was rising to them. Sarkozy in 2009, I think he's going to be very much at center stage in the global arena. So I guess the question about Sarkozy is there anything to restrain Sarkozy? Is there anything to hold him back? Well, probably the only thing that's really left is his own good judgment.
Don't underestimate Chinese President Jintao. 30 years of drastic reforms have transformed China from a vast nation of poverty into the world's 3rd largest economy, one that's still growing. While the rest of the world plunges deeper into recession, Hu the Humble is emerging as the one who's holding the lifeline. Beijing has become the U.S. government's biggest creditor, investing billions in American T-bills and shares of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Hu may be the kind of guy you wouldn't ordinarily think twice about, cautious, colorless, and corporate. But in the aftermath of Wall Street's meltdown, his low-key competence is just what Beijing wants. And may be what the world needs as well. He's number 2 on this year's Power list. If you thought we were going to give away our number 1 pick, think again. After all, knowledge is power. Discover Newsweek's most powerful person in the world on the pages of Newsweek magazine or at newsweek.com.